one's looking. You can do whatever the fuck you feel like doing, man. That's the Moses twist to me. I'm the shepherd of these letters, watch them dance with my essence. Weightless in space with a hand clutching heaven. So answer the question, do you like to get down? Hell yeah, I'll be twisting every time I hit town. Let's bounce to the spot where the ounce of the part, where the sound doesn't stop, where I found what I lost. Fear doesn't live in my heart or my mind. I've escaped to a place where the stars are aligned. Together forever, we hunt for a new view, like it only comes once in a blue moon. Let the room spin, dust your shoulders off, and let's ride till we fly like motocross. Man, we'll show the boss, he'll have nothing on us. We'll have our little piece of paradise, I fucking promise. So until that day, they'll fear the man of magic, simply cause his ideas are panoramic.
Now everybody do the Moses twist. Everybody do the Moses twist. Yeah, do the Moses twist. Now everybody do the Moses twist.
Well, I'm back in the kitchen to bust my transmission and pour myself a cup of ambition. Attack my plans with the winner's execution. This is the twist of my inner revolution. It's the sun and the breeze, it's a clean bill of health. Whether
made my way through it, and it's mostly bolted together now. So water pumps on, sealed all that up, made sure that was alright. Got through that not too bad. Top pulley was a bit of a mission. For some reason I've lost the bolts. Surprise. I've bagged everything, but obviously they haven't quite made it to the bag, and yeah, they've gone somewhere now. So I ended up pinching them out of me 6, which I didn't really want to do, but you got to do what you got to do. That motor's not going to be running for quite a while. This one is. So that sorted that one. Harmonic balancer, put that on. Didn't have a tool, so it was a bit of a mission to get it on there, but I did. And I will be buying a tool. Just haven't quite got there yet. So I did that. Also, the bottom pulley wasn't quite wanting to go on as well. It was a little bit bent when I first looked at it before I painted it and everything, and I straightened it out as best I can. But obviously, yeah, it wasn't quite sort of perfect, so I had to sort of work with it and do a few things to it. It's all fitting now, so that's the main thing. Also, dipsticks in, sealed up, bolted on, so pretty much that's right to go. Also got your dizzy clamp, all that sort of shit. So the rest of it is sort of just stuff that I haven't quite got to yet. So intake hasn't come back yet. Once that does, that can go on, but I've got to do all the rocker gear first anyway. Lifters in, all that sort of stuff. I could probably do the alternator. I've got to take that off me 6, as much as I don't want to, but I know it's a fresh alternator and it hasn't done that much work, so that'll be going on. So now I'll probably get that gearbox out, which is over there somewhere. Pull it out, clean it, scrub it down, give it a wash, and then yeah, get into it with the paint. Gearbox is all cleaned up, pretty much ready to seal up. Probably is a little bit sort of borderline being too late to start, but fuck it, we're gonna hit it. And if it all flares up and turns to shit, I know not to do that again. But if it works, well, happy days. Been sort of getting these nice and warm with the heater. Just makes them easy to shake as well. And yeah, a bit of temp in the paint will help it go on as well. See if we can make this dirty box a clean one.
The true friends of that gain is too many to name. Rerunning the views now through memory lane. I see ones that I grew with, crews steadily change, becoming abusive. See, loving the use of each drug they consuming. Weak-hearted excuses, encouraging clueless movement of the brain. Re-challenging vicissitudes and damages they introduce. Attention on the friendship who are family we pick and choose. Institutional chemical toxicity continually adds negative hostility. I've lost sympathy with efforts to stop misery. A long history now measures our proximity as God's guillotine.
Definitely come up at least $100, and the cast colour definitely was a good choice. Will it hold on? Stick around and find out, I guess. I'm now in the alternator, getting ready to paint the fan and the pulley. Just got the heater warming it up because it's probably not the right time to be painting, but anyway. So the reason I do this is more just for my sort of benefit, and that's pretty much just I like the pulley and the fan to match the other pulleys. I hate it when there's just an alternator stuck on that's got a black pulley or something like that. It just looks shit. So I'm going to paint that, and then what I'm going to do is back mask it when it's dry, and I'll paint the actual alternator itself just to tidy it up. So I'll do that in the aluminium just to clean it up because it's sort of a little bit corroded just from being on an engine, and yeah, it never got detailed, that engine, so doing that. Also, plans changed yet again with the rockers. So these are the old ones, pretty much sort of all together, but you can see in the bottom there, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but it's dead smooth in there. So anyway, I went to grab another rocker to replace the slightly rusty one from the old man's stash, and noticed it was different. It actually had like a cross mark sort of thing in the bottom, and I'll use one of these to show you if I can. So if you look in there, there's actually a line that goes through at the bottom there where my finger's touching, and what that does is it's actually an oil sort of vein, whatever you want to call it. So when the oil runs in there, because the surface is touching from the block here, and you can also see there that there's a black line going through there. So what that actually does is it actually lets the oil through a lot better, and I'm guessing that Ford did that after they realised that they probably did these ones and it worked but not as good, so they end up putting these little veins in there to pass the oil through. So I ended up pulling them out, that motor there. And the reason I did that was mainly because that motor's getting fully stripped apart. Probably won't have them heads ever on it ever again. And it's going in my truck, so I'm going to probably spend a little bit of money on that to make sure that that's a nice solid engine. So I'll clean them up as well as paint that alternator, but first order of business, put the oven mitt out. Try not to drop the bloody thing. Almost did. Thought I'd try something a bit easy first, just in case I do end up burning the shed down. So just cheap easy pizza. Don't actually have a proper knife, so you definitely got to improvise. So we'll give this a suss, and yeah, we're cooking. So there you go with the cooking. Sometimes I may be good, sometimes I may be shit.
Step back to straight, the only dead rappers are penned at the pace of no great actors. Those haters, no, you don't fade us. You don't know shit, so you're on a need to know basis. But those gracious folk with no.
So the fan and pulleys all painted up, and yeah, definitely looks pretty good, especially against the aluminium colour. It is clean, but I sort of don't really like the look of the wire brush. It just looks dirty and shitty. So I'll still paint that, but I'm just gonna let this cure so that I can back mask this so it doesn't get painted. And then yeah, I'll paint the alternator silver with the aluminium silver, and that should just tidy it up quite a bit. Went through, cleaned all these rockers up, and yeah, they were pretty sort of carboned up. This motor had some pretty unwell valve stem seals and that in it, which doesn't help. So yeah, just biggest thing, just getting all the carbon and shit off it. Like, they could be a lot cleaner, but biggest thing is just get the bulk of it off, because a lot of oils these days will have a detergent in it. As soon as you put that in, it washes all these, and then your oil just comes out black and shitty, and you try to avoid that if you can. This thing will probably end up getting a bit dirty with the oil, just because I haven't pulled it fully apart and everything's not brand new, freshly cleaned sort of thing. So we'll have a bit of colour, but after I do the run-in oil change and probably a couple more, usually with the oil I use, or we use, the raw stuff, it does start to sort of come back and start cleaning itself and sort of start coming back to where you're draining it and you still got good colour in there. So the other thing I've noticed with these rockers, so you're seeing that it's got the lines in there and they taper towards the centre there. Well, that's actually not all of them. This one actually tapers to the outside at the front. So the biggest thing is to actually make sure you're putting these blocks in the right way. So the way you put these in is, if it tapers out towards the front, you want the front of the block to taper inwards, so it does like a cross sort of deal, so just like that. So then the oil sort of spreads across the whole area. If you had them lined up, you just have one passage going diagonally. Wouldn't work as well. So I'll start getting these lifters lubed up and ready to go in. Same with push rods. That's all that. Then get the rockers on.
So you're nice with the pen, man? Or you're with them, man? Well, you paint a pretty picture, but it ain't a fucking Rembrandt. Pull in your head, man, this bedland's too boring. This year, we're bringing out vents like you, Jordan. So get supported or get the fuck out and head to the pavilion like I was Billy Bowden, man. I've killed 1,000 MCs' careers, and you get knocked out like concedes to
man, you see clear. Visions of body bags appear. You paranoid, you fear from macabre shit. You fear from the Quran, Osama, Islamabad drama, Pakistan, Iraq, a bulletproof armor, Shaka, Piranha, top boss, the bot to leave Jeffrey Dahmer, a palmer, top after my life at the devil from the hilltop. Revolution for real, on my shit.
There's out of everything, Joe. There's wetting the bed sheets, but I ain't sweating it, though. Like Rockin's techniques, like lead sheets laid on depleted uranium. I'm trying to shield the listener from elitist Australians.
Backdoor down like Shaq, ripping the backboard down. I'm deep round, taking rebound, flipping around a slam dunk.
So take that,
fuck that,
payback.
The first dick of mine,
I'm floating to find, man, I'm slamming like Kobe Bryant on top of blonde. I'm a beast to these Sony giants. I'm a threat to Warner, I'm a vet to BMG. It's World War III, Vince one strap with TNT.
Fuck from the doctor, we knock the stocks off your VK. Razor sharp torture your DJ. You resort to replay, the fuck was that? Vince up, back once again, must attack.
Cast the shadows of tomorrow. Cast the shadows of tomorrow. Cast the shadows of tomorrow. Cast the shadows of tomorrow.
Check it out, yeah, it's the return of the
Valvetrain all together, everything's bolted down, lubed up, so push rods, end of the push rods are lubed up, inside the bottoms of these cups here, and the rockers, and the tops of the valves. I just do that for personal preference. Some people just oil them and that should be fine, it does work. I just feel a little bit safer with this, especially if this motor sits for a while. This stuff will stay there and stay exactly the way it is, nice and tacky, and should do the trick, because this motor might sit for a little while before it goes in the truck. Anyway, passenger side is fine, driver's side, this exhaust rocker and this intake rocker didn't really sort of go down as well, and what I sort of found was when I was doing it down to the torque spec, so 20-22 foot-pound, they're actually meant to have a little bit of movement, so you could probably see that that's got a little bit of sort of rock to it. That's because currently lifters have no oil in them, so they've actually got a spring in there, and that's, you're meant to actually have a little bit of movement, because when the motor starts, oil pressure builds, it'll actually fill up, take it up, and it'll be nice and tight. problem was when I did this one and this one down, it was already tight and the rest had a little bit of movement. What that means is when it's being done down, it's actually bottoming out the lifter and can't go any further. So it's actually got pressure on the lifter already. Lifter can't spring any further because it's machined that way to a certain depth, and yeah, you can end up running into issues where if you leave it like that, it will actually smash the inside of the lifter and then you've got issues. So what can cause that is what I'm guessing with this engine, because these heads have done some Ks and they weren't machined or anything. This valve and this valve are slightly pulled up in the head a little bit further, so they actually sit in the valve seat a little bit deeper, which means the valve's taller, which means the rocker tilts backwards, pushes the push rod down further, which means it bottoms out on the lifter, and yeah, it's pretty much just a chain reaction all the way through. Some people leave it, I try and get them all the same. So some will rock a little bit further, but the main thing is to have them with a little bit of rock in it. The oil pressure will take up the tolerance, hence why they're non-adjustable. I'm not going to put a feeler gauge on them or anything. Some do, some don't. If it was a solid roller, or just solid cam in general, say like what's in the Corolla, you do your feeler gauge under there and you do the rocker adjuster down or up to suit. These you don't have to, so this is why they're so easy. You just pretty much do them up to the torque spec and they're good to go. They'll sort themselves out. To fix that problem was getting these little splash shields. So you remember we had a broken one on that set over there. Also I grabbed another one, chopped it off so it was only the center bit that goes around sort of the bolt here, so pretty much just the bottom of it. Ground it down and it's actually sitting under this block here and on top of the pedestal there where it's notched out. Probably can't see that. There's a bit of a notch there. And basically what that's done is brought the whole rocker setup up, which has then brought the push rod up, and it's now giving us more room, so now we've got spring back. So it's just one thing to check when you do rocker gear, because yeah, you can put engines together and then next minute it's smashing lifters or bending push rods. Everything should run sweet. It's all torqued down to spec. Also the other thing is too, when you ratchet them up, pretty much ratchet them just as they start to feel like they're going tight, stop, because you can actually do them down too tight with a ratchet. When you go to put the torque wrench on there, it takes next to nothing and you're pretty much at your torque spec. So last thing you want to do is to over tighten them, snap the bolt or pull the thread out in the head, because they're not a very big bolt. That's why a lot of people, when they go aftermarket setups or whatever, they'll actually put a bigger bolt in here and get the heads machined out and retapped and whatnot. So yeah, just something to be a bit careful of. But now this is all done, pretty much just waiting for the intake. The rocker covers and the water neck are getting coated just so they don't go rusty, because it'll definitely be that cheap shit chrome and it won't last. Once that's done, pretty much I've just got to do the dizzy. The alternator's getting sorted currently. I'm going to get a new T-piece for the back here. The old one was this big massive thing and it doesn't need to be that high. Because what I'm going to do is 90 at the side with a braided line going to a gauge, so they'll know how much oil pressure it's making. And then I'm actually going to put the original sender on the top, and that's so that I've also got a light. So I've got a gauge and a light telling me if I've lost oil pressure. Just a little bit more sort of peace of mind and just a little bit safer at the end of the day.